watch them go around. This is the side. Peter Parsons, Alan Shepherd, Simon Brockwell, Mark Harris, Chris Luckman, Alan Smith, Paul McCaffrey, Alan Burns, Keith Harris, captain number 9, Steve Mayo. And this is the full team. Neil Baker, Chris Anderson, Chris Mortimer, Peter Mortimer, Steve Gearan, Gary Hughes, captain, Steve Mortimer, Mark Hughes, Stephen Better. The crowd give him a razz. It wasn't a great kick either. Very ordinary kick, really. But it's got the sideline. McKinnon running as a foil with the little hooker there. There's the hooker, Richie. Out to Harris, opening, peering out of the right as it goes out to Simon Brockwell. He's accelerating, going nicely. He's close, and he's in. That's a good try. And little Phil Richie did very nicely in that move. Always considered the linchpin of this Canterbury three-quarter line. Clever player. Statistics, 1 scrum each they are at this stage, and the penalties are 3-2 Canterbury's way. We've had 16 minutes. The bust been made by Mortimer. Peter, good head on defence there by Parsons. Graham Hughes, Steve Mortimer, Gary Hughes. Good defence there. Richie. There's Mortimer again with the right arm strapped out to Robinson. He's the Canterbury favourite, no doubt about it. Steve Mortimer, Gary Hughes, little dummy. That's a forward pass, I thought. On to Peter Mortimer. Back on the inside to Graham Hughes. Graham Hughes gets a pass to Gearan. Then back inside to Chris Mortimer. Caught on the quarter line, and I think the ball's been stolen. Danger territory for Canterbury. McCaffrey caught high, but not illegally, around the chest. But there'll be no doubt about that. It wasn't a head-high tackle. Mayo managed to get a pass away, picked up by McKinnon. McKinnon lowers that shoulder of his and thumps into the opposition. Richie, McCaffrey going for one of his little scurries. Now here's the bomb, been put up by Luckman. And he takes it beautifully, Baker, gone right through, looking for support. Harris is there and takes him, wrestles him to the ground. What a classic bit of football that was from Baker. And Gearan bobs up on the right. This Canterbury side virtually interchangeable. They'll drop into the position anywhere. Steve Mortimer, Mark Hughes, Gary Hughes. Anderson puts it down. Picked up by Brockwell. How many times has he fallen on the loose ball today? He's had a top game, Brockwell. McKinnon, back to Brockwell. Can't run without legs, says Robinson, and drops him from behind. There's Mayo on the surge and right through. Got a one-handed pass away, but it was a bad one. And Canterbury off the hook. I think the big fella got a bit excited there. Lovely pass. Oh, taken beautifully by Chris Mortimer. Got back into Gary Hughes. Selectively to Robinson. Look at this stuff. Out to Coveney. And then back to Peter Mortimer. He's lost it. 6 to go, says the referee. The ball must have been knocked out of his hands. Robinson. The settler. Gary Hughes fell base over apex over the top of it. English goes from a sprint from dummy half. Well, there you are. He's just at about 30 stone on top of him. The little fella, he looks inches shorter. Lovely running there from Chris Mortimer. That's the way to run onto the ball. 7 minutes to half time. 6 points to 5, Canterbury lead. Anybody's game. Steve Mortimer, Gary Hughes, Mark Hughes, the dummy. Baker, Mortimer, Gary Hughes. Lovely pass to Anderson. Back to Robinson. Got support on the outside. Gary Hughes again. Stepping, dummying. How he does this so often at his pace, I'll never know. Not knocked on, says the referee. Play on. Long floating pass out to English. Sprinting nicely. Throws a pass out there to Gearan. Leaps in the air. Takes it up to the quarter. And solid defence. That's the 6. In position with 4 minutes to go. Unofficial time. Coveney. Folks. About 5 metres out. North Sydney 4, Canterbury 6. Number of errors. There's Robinson. Graham Hughes. He's in. Oh no, he's been called back. There might be a little bit of shepherding going on there. We'll see that again. Perhaps the head-on shot will show that better. But Graham Hughes was the man carrying the ball. And here's the head-on shot. Now let's see what happened. Here was Graham Hughes. He took it, showed it, balanced it on his hand at one stage. Through the defence there. Well, I'd like to look at that on side-on too to see what we can pick up the loss of the ball there. Then Cole, Steve Mortimer's come away with the ball. Is it Steve Mortimer? Yes, indeed it is. Out to Peter Mortimer. Looking for support, can't get a pass away. The North Sydney defence swarmed in like angry bees. Now Mortimer, Gary Hughes, trying to go straight ahead. He just broke from that scrum like a rocket. Coveney. Now pressure for North Sydney forwards and the entire team as Canterbury score a lot of their tries from these distances. Steve Mortimer, Robinson loses it into the end goal, and that's where they'll peg him off. Parsons tackled in possession in goal. Restart from the goal line. Well, it's been a messy start. I'm just a little bit disappointed with Steve Mortimer why he didn't just go instead of coming back on the inside. Now Mark Harris has got a decent sort of a boot on him. Let's see what he does with this. Well, it's a grubber type of drop. It's going to get the distance required. Baker fields it on halfway. But Harris was the tackler, so that's good stuff from the veteran centre. Folks. English, Steve Mortimer. Mark Hughes holds the ball and goes on his own, right through the middle. Good football. He's got more skill than 4 or 5 first graders combined, Mark Hughes. Ball skills to burn. Hughes, oh, the dummy, and almost through, unloaded the pass. It's a try to Canterbury Bankstown, and what a try. And Stephen Folks was the man that took the final pass. So this second half, North Sydney on attack, running from right to left. Crisscross move. Burns unloads well to McCaffrey. And play now centred about 5 metres out. 8 perhaps from the Canterbury line. Jerd. Get up and play it, he's told. Richie to McKinnon. I think he's there beside the post. No, get up and play it, he's told. They've gone perilously close on 2 occasions. Richie cleared it. Oh, and Mayo was it. Ran across, offside. Any signs of any change on the sideline, Barry Ross?
No. I've just been looking at both coaches. They're both sitting there quite unconcerned, and no changes at this stage.
Well, I think Ron Willey would be a bit concerned with that. McCaffrey losing the ball on the first tackle, having it stolen from him. I would if I was the coach. Robinson using that high knee action again. English lobs a pass beautifully to Anderson. Look for Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes back to Mortimer. Mortimer's got the pace. He gets a pass away now, which is intercepted, and beautifully intercepted by McCaffrey. And they're spread all over the field at the moment. It's won by Canterbury. The pass cuts out a man. Peter Mortimer. Back inside to Chris Mortimer and across to Gary Hughes. Razzle-dazzle football again. They're switching it backwards and forwards. Not making any ground, but there's the error situation. Canterbury 13, North Sydney 11. The number of times each side has given the ball back to the opposition. Last 5. And disappointment for North Sydney fans. Their side has not played all that badly, but they've never had the class to to worry Canterbury. Steve Mortimer, Graham Hughes, who's got to be one of the most skillful forwards in Sydney football. Done his fair share of work today too. Steve Mortimer dummied and then gave a beautiful pass to Peter Mortimer, to Baker, the fullback. Well, that was a classic bit of football. He dummied, he held it up and then gave it. It was beautiful. The skills, 3 games next round. It's the weekend for the washed out round. They'll be making an announcement on the 7 News about which game we'll be covering in Sevens Big League next Sunday. Floating pass gone out there. Oh dear, oh dear. Luckman didn't go in for it with any confidence, and there's the action. It's over for the day. With Canterbury running out winners, I think, very convincingly by 16 points to 5. I don't think there was really a contest in the second half. I think it was all Canterbury Bankstown. However, an interesting game. Well, our man of the match, I think if you saw the game right through, you will agree that Graham Hughes, the Canterbury second rower, was quite outstanding, had a marvellous game, and he was one of a number of players in the Canterbury